This is Jesus Manuel Menagarza. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In this video, I give you a quick review and give you some sample footage of a product that I use. Two products, in fact. One's a gimbal and one's a camera. And I only spent $80 on the whole combo. So if you're interested in learning more about my process, how I shoot my YouTube videos, check out this short and informative video. I'm walking across the street to the lake across the street from my house. I'm giving a test of my gimbal and my action camera. My action camera that I use for reviews and for some of my travel adventures is the Hawkeye Firefly 8S. It's about a 2-year-old camera. I'm shooting this video in 4K at 30 frames per second. It does a pretty good job on these overcast Texas days and these bright sunny days. Very good in shooting outdoors, brightly lit scenes. For example, when I shoot an RV review, and I do a lot of RV reviews and walkthroughs, if the lights in the RV are on, everything comes out absolutely fabulous. When I have to just deal with just available light and it gets a little dim, especially when I open up a cabinet or two, then I have problems because like most action cameras, and again, most action cameras, it's not just even this $100 action camera or a $500 action camera, if there's such a thing. I think there's only $400 action cameras. But they typically are not good in low light situations. If you want to be good in low light situations, you have to get an actual camera that you can adjust the apertures, shutter speed, ISOs, everything. And not such a puny little sensor, okay? Bigger sensors, more light, more sensor. I've been watching too much TV. I know I'm using that word "mo" too much. So this is my little lake across the street from my house, and I'm just photographing with my Hawkeye Firefly 8S. They came out with an 8SE with a touchscreen, pretty much similar. And of course there are GoPro 8s, eventually 9s, 10s, 12s, 11s. And of course the DJI came out with their action camera. But right now I'm just using this camera right now. It's a budget option. Again, I ordered it, I think, from Banggood. And they did a horrible customer service job. I shot, with a customer, I called the customer service department, emailed, and it didn't work out because this camera had issues with sound. I eventually figured out that the sound problems were when I had the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on, so I just turned those off, and all of a sudden things cleared up relatively well. I'm using the internal camera on this there I am. Let me turn this camera around. I'm using the internal mic. Of course I'm using the internal camera. Yeah. So, and I have it on my Hohem iSteady Pro 2. Yes, it's a Pro model. I like how they the hyperbole they use. They call it a Pro when it's just 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 a consumer level gimbal. So I'm using the gimbal, the Hohem iSteady Pro 2, and I'm just shooting with it today. It does a relatively good job of keeping things steady. The only problems I've had with this gimbal is that the motors sometimes make, there's a weep, weep noise, and that's not good. They make noises that my camera picks up sometimes. So when I'm shooting my little RV reviews and my travel videos, sometimes you hear a little funny little noise. Sometimes my background music, or my voiceover, or my talking, or the ambient sound overpowers that little funny little squeaky sound. But it is there. Again, this is just an $80 gimbal. Sometimes sells for $100. So it's a very nice gimbal. I like it quite a bit. It's my first gimbal I ever bought. I would love to get a expensive gimbal for my G85, my Lumix G85, but I don't see the value of spending $300-400 for a gimbal for YouTube videos, specifically what I do, RV reviews and stuff like that. With an action camera, my little cheapo action camera, and my cheapo budget gimbal work perfectly fine. Again, this setup right now that I'm using right now only cost me $80 because I got the camera for free. Because when I complained to the folks at Banggood, they would only offer me a $15 coupon for my troubles, okay? And then I contact the folks at Hawkeye Firefly, and they said, "Nah, send it in, and maybe you'll get it back." I didn't fall for that trick. I'm 67 years old. I'm not that stupid. Maybe when I get senile in a couple of years, they can take advantage of me. But right now, I'm relatively sentient. Okay. So I'm walking around my lake. It's Thursday. No, it's a Thursday. Yeah, it's a Thursday, and it's late November 2019, and I'm let me turn this camera around with my gimbal. You see my gimbal? That's one of the things I like about gimbals. You can make these slow, smooth pans. And my RV reviews have definitely benefited from that. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to let you listen. Listen in real quietly here. I'm going to be quiet for a second. And I'm going to press the mode button, which allows you for all follow and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to click it 3 times. Watch what happens. You can probably hear it when I do it. That's the problem. I wish it was quiet. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I heard it. Let me do it again. This time I'm going to press 2 times. There I am. I can go to the ground, I can go up, get more sky, and it does it very smoothly, which I really, really appreciate. So I figure this will be good for a couple years, shooting RV reviews, when I'm hiking along a trail, etc., etc., and some other experimental footage during my camping adventures, my truck bed camping adventures. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, this is my new YouTube channel, Eclectic RV and Travel Adventures. Okay? If you want to see videos, sporadic as they may be, on the subject of, this is my neighborhood, by the way. I'll just show you the homes in my neighborhood. This is a little stream that empties into the Trinity River, that empties eventually into the Gulf of Mexico and by Houston. Okay, it takes a long trip, several hundred miles. I live in a basically middle class, working class neighborhood. Just a few blocks away are Section 8 housing, which contributes to the glamour of the area. So Not much shopping around here. This is the Candle Ridge area. I would prefer to live in the area by TCU. That's a nice area. Tanglewood. If you ever come to Fort Worth, move to Tanglewood. It's so much nicer. More shopping. More stuff. That was a fish that jumped in the water. I just heard him pretty good. And let me do a close-up. One of the things I don't like about this camera is that it's not very good at close-ups. I think the closest you can get is about 1.5 feet. So I'm right about 1.5 feet. But once you get a little bit closer, it goes blurry pretty much. See right there, it's blurry. Even my blurry eyes can see better than this camera right now. And I'm an old fart. But once you get about 18 inches away, you can do that. This is a comparable, this lens right here, comparable to a full frame 35, is 24 millimeters. It has a 90-degree view of the world out there, which is perfectly fine for my YouTube videos. My zoom lens on my Lumix only goes to about 75, so that's not good. So this gives me a little bit wider view. One of the first complaints I got on my YouTube channel was that I didn't get enough wide shots. So I've been getting a lot more wide shots with this little gimbal. So what do you think of the steadiness of this gimbal and the quality of the video on this definitively overcast day here in Fort Worth, Texas? What do you think? Don't forget to leave your friendly and kind comments below the description. I would greatly appreciate it. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and ring the little bell for future notifications of my video. And what do you think of the sound? I'm using the mic on the actual unit, and I'm talking behind the camera, so about 5 inches away. And I would love to have a little external mic that I can attach to this unit, but they don't really have anything. They have these lapel mics, and they have these long cords. I'd like to see a little something shorter. So here's a shot with the tree in the shade, and let me pan up. Oop, I pan down. I always get these confused. I apologize. There's a pan up. So let me pan down. There you are. Ugh. Again, it's an overcast day, so this camera should be able to pick up a lot of the details of in the shadows and stuff, because it's not that distinct. The shadows aren't super distinct as in a harsh, bright day. Let's look across the street. There's my abode. I live right there. I gotta fix that mailbox. I gotta pull some weeds. I gotta mow the lawn. What other things I have to do? So I'm gonna go around this lake another time, and I'm not gonna bore you with my comments here. And, again, don't forget to leave your kind and friendly comments regarding this Hawkeye Firefly 8S action camera. I'm using the internal mic, and I'm using also a Hohem iSteady Pro. Yes, it's a Pro 2 gimbal, a modest gimbal that I got for 80 bucks, I think at walmart.com. And I got the camera for free from the guys at some Chinese company, because they didn't, I just canceled the check on them, and my credit card, because they didn't want to give me my money back. I called my credit card company and said, hey, cancel that. Don't pay them. And they didn't. And I haven't heard from those folks at GearBest or one of those companies. I get them all confused. So there we are, and there are the ducks. Hope you're having a great day. From Fort Worth, Texas. Again, from Fort Worth, Texas, this is Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.